Ask away.
Why are we here in Brussels?
Belgium is special because it has possibly the most disastrous plan in place for nuclear. In Germany, they're going to hurt themselves severely getting rid of nuclear, but they already have experience hurting themselves, and they only have a bit more to hurt themselves. Brussels is a city almost completely powered by nuclear in a country that's 50% nuclear. It means that because they're trying to get rid of it all in 4 years, it's darn near suicidal. That means that we have a lot of hope that this desperate situation will be delivered by our efforts much more easily than, say, Munich was. Munich was a great symbolic effort and a great start for Nuclear Pride Coalition, but here in Belgium, we have a lot of expectation of doing something more than the symbolic. We expect to save Dole and Tihange.
How was the fest?
We had a lot of enthusiasm, which is important when it started raining on us. It was cold, windy, and wet. People's clothing were starting to get soaked through. Our melties were kind of melted. And by the time the sun came out, we really needed that sun to come out. And spirits rose. The crowds were getting into it. We had a lot of learning that happened here on the plaza. How to look out for people who appeared interested. How to attract kids and their families with the balloons. And by the end of the fest, we had a beautiful moment where a bunch of crowds were watching our crowd sing a song together that we finally know well enough not to read out of the book. I'd say that was a success.
And what about United States and nuclear?
So the United States is a very interesting situation. Our natural gas is being sold at below production cost, and there's not a lot of sign that that's going to change. That means that efforts to close the plants are almost entirely about political intervention at the expense of the market as it is for electricity. That means that all of our battles are strongly oriented around specific political coalitions and specific politicians even in specific states. It's hard. It's very hard. It's rough. Here at EP, we get a big boost out of coming to Europe where we're not fighting against cheap gas and we can see real prospects of change with only a little bit of political change. We're not fighting the tide, as it were. In the US, we haven't given up on any single plant. But it's difficult. Michael Schellenberger, the founder of this group and movement in many ways, was not here today. We had to do it ourselves, and he was not here because he's testifying in 2 different states in a week's time, attempting anything he can to save those plants.
Well, and the future? Optimistic?
There have been enough victories saving nuclear plants in the US that I think we can take heart that it's possible, that we needn't lose any plant. That doesn't mean we can't stop fighting, and it doesn't mean we don't need to fight for almost every single one. But we're going to. At EP, we have specific new plans to expand our efforts. Starting this year, we're having a meeting in Berkeley that we hope will be the start of a much more engaged industry in the type of activism that we found here on the ground by ourselves can be successful.
Thank you very much.